So there was somebody had asked about can you make money selling worm castings? You can. You just have to learn how to have a production going with the worms. So I know in Florida there was a guy who has about 20 different little worm beds, and he would go through each process. That the worms beds would get really full with worms. He would take them out, put them in a little spinner. It's basically a little device that spins, keeps the worms, but all the soil worms. Is that what it's called?
It's called the Tremel. I have one. I built one myself for when I was doing worms. But there's like Penny here, kid making bank on $25 for 2 gallons of castings. He even reuses old pickle buckets. All profit. There is huge money in either worm castings, worm selling, the worms themselves, or the worm liquid, which is what Andy's using. For his spray is the worm leachate. That liquid, there's guys selling $25 for a 10-ounce container of it because it works.
Guys, look. So I'll tell you a secret. So the worm farm is the most inexpensive. So I buy a few things that I add to the worm farm, sure, but the amount of liquid that I get out of that one worm farm. And the liquid, it's mainly water that I've filtered out, right? I have city water, nice clean water, goes through percolates through, comes out like this. It doesn't cost me. And I think some of my customers are watching because basically my feeling for charging a lot for these liquid is the knowledge. It's like a good cook. You're paying for the experience of that cook to produce a product. You can grow worms and do your thing. And lots of people do that. I learned to add other things to it, like the biochar. It's really good to add. For example, you want to get the best compost that you can make, add it in there, and a lot of times you just have to give it up. Okay, that guy makes better compost than me. For example, Leighton makes the best compost on it, as far as I know, from any human being on the planet. Even though there are lots of people making compost, and they all make. When I made it, I said mine's the best compost ever. But man, that compost really. When I put it in my worms farm, it goes nuts. It amplifies the biology, and then when the liquid comes out, there it is. Yeah. And so you have to. So it's an experience thing. The better you get at what you're adding to make these worms really grow, really happy, and you're keying into trace minerals, your liquid is going to be so freaking amazing. I sell it. So there are different stations that I sell, and I'll tell you what. So I make a liquid called a concentrate. So basically what I do is I don't add the worm juice to it because anytime you add worm juice biologically alive, you have to use it within 24 to 48 hours. So this is one that doesn't get, so it gets the things that I normally would add to my worm farm, right? These are things that I would add to it, but I get rock dust and I get the liquid seaweed, lots of different things, liquid form. So it's a pure mixture. Stir it all together. My rock dust is blended with the biology that you buy, all these different things you can buy, mix it all together. I would get soft rock phosphate, 14 different types of rock dust. I blend them together. It takes 30 to 60 days to make a primordial soup. That's a concentrate. You only need to use like a quart of that in 100 gallons. You 1 tablespoon per gallon, okay? Because then ideally, if you just use it in city water, forget it dies. But if you use it distilled water and you bubble it and you do the bubble thing, you can end up with a good amount of biology that you normally would never get. And so, but then I also make it so when I have 100-gallon sprayer, so I add 2.5 gallons of my liquid, of my worm juice liquid to that 100 gallons. Mm-hmm. The worm juice liquid now costs me literally thousands of dollars to buy these different things. People say, well, how come it's so expensive? Well, here's a list of different things that I buy. And I do that on purpose because you don't need to buy all these things. All you need to do is pick a few great products. I would watch Leighton a lot, and he'll tell you if any of these products are any good or not. That's what you want. Some are good, some are just fake. See ya, Earthlings. To water plants. Bye, food forest. Awesome.
And there's so much that we put in that most people don't understand we're putting in. Like, you're talking putting in the rock dusts, etc., into your compost, even before it ever makes it to the worm bin.